Hey, Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And what we have today is the Yahiko VG10 Damascus Gyuto 215 or 210 millimeter knife. So this line of knives has a layered construction. The core cutting edge steel at the middle, you can kind of see the cladding line there, and there's your core steel. Is VG10 full stainless steel, which is a proven steel that works great in kitchen knives. It's used in a lot of different lines of knives. The heat treat's about 60 Rockwell on that core steel, so it's a good combination of hardness and forgiveness as well. The construction has multiple layered soft stainless cladding over the top of each side, and you can see it's a little bit of a polish to it, so it's going to reflect quite a bit, but they've done some acid etching to it to kind of make those layers pop a little bit. And then they've got a screened on acid etch kanji on the right side of the blade, and you can see a fair amount of polish to it. Weight and dimensions can vary a little bit from knife to knife. This particular one is 156 grams, 5.5 ounces with this handle. And the edge lengths are at about 215 millimeters or 8.5 inches. The overall length's about 352 millimeters or around 13.8 inches. Thickness-wise, coming out of the handle, I got about 2.5 millimeters thickness, and then it went down to maybe 2.1, 2.2-ish area. And then not a lot of taper here. You can see the tip is not super skinny, but it tapers just a little bit and then thins out a little towards the very tip. It's not what I'd call a wafer thin tip, but it's got a little bit of backbone to there for a little forgiveness as well. Here's the choil shot. And again, fairly thin at the edge. Not wafer thin, but fairly thin at the edge. So good kind of balanced performance. Blade height's about 45 millimeters at the back, and fairly wide neck here. The handles, they match up with that neck width, so you still got decent, as long as your fingers aren't too big, you still got decent room there on a cutting board. The handles are octagonal, what's known as wenge, with a buffalo horn ferrule. Very nice handles. Looks like a pretty nice glue-up job here where the tang goes into the handle. You'll notice these handles are fairly kind of thin width-wise, but rather tall, so that they're a little bit different feel in the hand, but it still works pretty well. So it's not quite as squarish or symmetrical as some handles are, but they're very nice looking handles. Everyone's going to have some unique figure to the wood. Let's look at our beauty shot here as best I can do it, given the shininess of the blade. So as you can kind of see, it's a little hard to tell. The blade's got that layered finish. You've got the cladding line right here. Fair polish to it. There's your screened in or etched kanji on the right side of the blade. Here's your left side of the blade. And then performance-wise, this has a fair amount of stiffness to it. It's got kind of a balanced performance. It's not a laser, but it's got good balanced performance. Nice fit and finish on it. They've done a little bit of relief on the spine, a little bit of relief on the choil. Out of the box edge, I'll give it 5, maybe 6 out of 10. It definitely could get a little bit sharper, but it's a decent out of the box edge on it. So it's kind of a good, just nice looking, no frills knife with a very nice handle on it. This might work well for a professional environment also. Here is the beauty shot, and the cutting board view. Getting confused here. You can see it's a fairly curvy profile, so it kind of curves into the back, and then it doesn't really have too much of a flat spot. It kind of slides in towards that heel. So I'm going to say it's fairly kind of a continuous slight belly or curve to it. A little bit of chopping part at the back, but not a whole lot. And then the tip's fairly high in relation to the center line. I got to put some non-stick stuff on the bottom of this board so it doesn't keep sliding around. So I can get pretty high on a rock. So this thing will rock really nice. Tip draws, you're going to have to hold the handle pretty high because of that, but it'll tip draw very nice. Push-pull cuts, glide cuts, a little bit of chopping at the back. Definitely a good rocker. So that's what the edge profile typically looks like on this. So just a very nice kind of high-value line of knives with very good consistent construction to it and a really cool handle. This is the Yahiko VG10 Damascus Gyuto 215 millimeter knife from Chef Knives to Go.